Right. Well, I think we have to decide what technology is going to be useful as artists and what technology might compromise us as artists, right? So let's make a clear distinction. On the one hand, I think that performance capture, the way we use it on these films, is very pure, it's very real, it's very emotional, right? And I think those of you that have seen the film see it's probably the most emotional of the 3 Avatar films to date, and we're very proud of that. On the other extreme, we have new technology that's emerging using generative AI, where we can completely replace actors. We don't need actors anymore. Maybe using large language models, we can replace writers. You know, I'm not personally interested in using those tools. I'm not personally interested in any pathway that uses the technology to replace human creativity. Now, the big question, I think, beyond that, is using these particular types of visual models, can we improve our workflow? Can we make the work more efficient? Can we make the work more creative? I think yes, absolutely. As long as we stick to a very high standard of how it's used, ethically, morally, and practically. And I say practically also because we may be able to replace an actor and create a character. Not we, because I wouldn't do it, but it may be possible technically. But is it desirable? Does it create that unique character that's based on, because there's basically a character is a meld of 2 sets of unique human experiences. One is the screenwriter. Screenwriter experienced life in a very unique way, not like you or you or you or anybody else, right? Particular lens. And then that gets handed to the actor. Now the actor is bringing their life experience, things that have happened to them, the feelings that they've felt, their hurt, their heartbreak, their love, their joy, all of the things that they've gone through. Now you're creating something very unique and very special, right? So if you try to use a model that's trained on everything that's ever been done, how can it be that specific? How can it be that unique? It can't. It's going to do the average, right? Now look, we've all grown up watching cop shows and medical shows and law shows that were, you know, pretty average, pretty mundane. I think it could do that, probably quite convincingly. But is that what we want out of our art? Is that what we want out of cinema? I don't think so. You look at the films that are considered the best films of the year by the critics and the awards associations and everything, they're all pretty unique. They're unique visions, you know, and that's why I don't think, speaking practically, I don't think generative AI will ever be able to do that or compete with that. So yeah, it can do the mediocre, but it can't do the special and unique. It also can't create that which has never been seen. Let's think about, you know, you quoted Steven Spielberg. He said there was cinema before Avatar, cinema after Avatar. All right, so you want to take a model, a generative model, and say, give me something that looks like Avatar. Great, it can do it all day long. Bioluminescent forest, flying creatures. All right, ask that model to do that before Avatar existed. It's going to draw a blank, right? So so it still fundamentally comes back to human creativity.